Hello there. I'm here. Isn't that wonderful? Let me know how the audio and video is for you guys. I'm dying to know. Oh boy. I do believe YouTube is lying to me. Okay, let's see if we can get through this with a little bit less glitching than yesterday, but it's pretty sure it's not my fault. I'm pretty sure it's my cable modem. So yeah, don't know what to do about that. Hey Oak Blocks, how you doing? Keep in mind there's a pretty long delay between when I say something or do something and when you actually get to see it on the stream. This is going to be one of the more straightforward jobs. I'm going to show you how I stick an SSD in a desktop. It's an upgrade, it's a clone, it's probably one of the most boring and also the most financially lucrative things that I do. I buy SSD thingy. So, we need this giant Torx to get into this bad boy. Here you go. Get you a little closer. I really ought to change out that lens. I don't know. I have a small lens that's not nearly as fisheye, but I don't know. Maybe you like it this way. Oh, holy hell. Well. Oh, look, the video glitched up again. That's great. I can't do anything about it, man. I don't know what causes that, but if it's OBS, then OBS is permanently trash. If it's my internet connection, then I have to get someone to fix it. So, don't know what to do about the damn video. I hate this video. Does it have cat pee-pee? No, there's a spider web in it, though. That's for sure. So, whenever it glitches, the upstream indicator goes way, way down. So I'm basically just waiting to see if it goes way, way up. I'm going to do something real quick. Hang on. Well, that's why that doesn't work. Okay. I'm going to see if running a speed test resolves it for some strange reason. Yeah, that's not something that should happen, but, you know, if it does happen, I'm getting pretty good downstream. The upstream is saying 1,000. The video's not glitching anymore. That's really frustrating. So I'll close the speed test and see what it does. So it's not glitching anymore. I don't know what to do about this stupid glitching problem. But I swear I don't think that it's my problem. I think it's the stupid ISP. I'm not a boomer. I'm actually what they call a Xennial. Xennial. It's it's the early millennials. Basically the millennials that don't have the problem where they grew up with the internet. Yeah, that's Xennials. So this thing here, let's have a little fun with this. What do you say? What we got? Give me back my damn transition button. Thank you. Okay. Let's take a look in here. Show you the mess. All right. We have a spider web. You can't tell me that you're not excited, because if you do, well, frankly, I'll believe you, because, I mean, that's not that exciting. But yeah, this thing's a little dirty. They've had it for a while. That heatsink, clogged. It is clogged. It's, we're not having a good day down here. So, yeah. Not a pretty story here. Turn everything off other than my 2 cameras. Nah, look. That's not going to help, okay? I'm just going to tell you right now, your suggestions for fixing the video glitch problem will not help. I've been doing this a while. The upstream thing drops drastically whenever the glitch happens. Drastically. And I've had problems, and I went over this on a previous stream. So what's going on with this glitch situation? I go to someone's house regularly and watch Plex using a Plex instance hosted here. The problem is that sometimes while in the middle of watching something, it will just, like, normally it'll buffer nicely, like really nicely. Okay, cool. The problem is in the middle of watching something, it'll go from, oh, you can stream at full quality at like 2 megabits per second or whatever, on an 8 megabit downstream there and 10 megabit upstream here. Oh, that's fine, and it buffers nice and fast. At some point, the connection chokes repeatedly, the buffer runs out, and I have to drop the quality to, it's like 0.7 megabits, which is also what it drops to in OBS. So clearly something's wrong with the connection. Now, the router's a Linux computer, okay? The router's a Linux computer that is basically idle. Like, it can forward all the traffic and just sort of go, I'm bored. So, I'm not worried about the router. I am a little worried about this, though. I see someone watch the PayPal video. Unfortunately, the problem with the internet, the problem with Poe's Law here, Poe's Law says that anything that is sufficiently ridiculous is indistinct. You can't distinguish whether they're serious from whether they're being satirical. That's not the exact thing that it says, but, you know, it's roughly it. Once that fan kicks back in, it'll blow half of its own dust out. So, this, they really hate me, don't they? This is one of those HPs that takes a laptop adapter, so I have to go get one. I'll be right back. That's just stupid. All right. Get this out of the way. I don't really care. Emerald Celestial, I don't know if you're joking or if you're serious, but I really don't care. Your opinion is one opinion. What difference will it make? If you know what difference it will make, please let me know. Alright. So, what I normally do is I don't install the SSD right away. I steal the CD drive thing. Okay? I steal the CD drive cables. And I use those Let's get you a monitor here. Is there any way I can get this tripod set up here? I don't think so. That gap is pretty big. If I manage to get all 3 points of this to line up, I think it would be a bit of a miracle. Yeah, see, it's just big enough to be a problem. So I can't get this camera quite where I want it. And that might just have to be okay. And we'll just deal with it, I guess. Alright. So take a look at this monitor here, right? It's a monitor. So the first order of business is we need to get my service system booted, and we need to do some cloning. I have this really cute bunny flash drive here for that. That's what it's for. I promise. All right. Yes, it's an HP computer. It's a, it is upgradable, but not, it doesn't have any card slots. It's basically a souped up laptop design, I guess. It's got a desktop style heatsink actually, and I think I see a socket, so I just kind of lied. I don't want to put a GoPro on my head. I don't have a GoPro, and I don't think you can output HDMI out of them, so whatever. Let's turn this thing on and see if it catches on fire. That really would be the best outcome. Also, I have to steal the thing for the keyboard from this computer down here, actually. So let's do that too. Keyboard error. You don't say. No, don't boot. I actually don't want it to boot. Okay. It helps. It helps if you plug up a keyboard. My God. Okay. Oh, piece of shit. Okay. No, no, no. Don't boot, you son of a bitch. Okay. Well, it booted. It booted, and I'm going to take the opportunity to run a disk check. This sucks. Okay. Come on. There you go. I know that this really isn't ideal, but what the hell else am I going to do to show this to you? I mean, seriously. The way that I have things set up right now, a desktop is just not... Oh, the machine from yesterday, I haven't touched it. I have too much paid work to deal with at the moment, and I already exceeded my quota on that. All right. It's funny. Jennifer doesn't even sit at this computer. Some dude sits at this computer. I know, because I took it out of their office. Anyway, as you can see, it has a hard drive and it's slow. And I'm getting really tired of this. Come on. Just all I want for Christmas is an administrative command prompt. Alright. No one cares. Yeah, no one cares. Give me just a second. I don't have time for this. That's really warped, isn't it? Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? Come on. Alright. Screw Explorer. I'm just going to do this. Maybe I'll do that again, but with administrative privileges. So, let me get this reduced here to where you can actually see it. Kinda. Yeah, I know this isn't ideal, but we're going to just sort of roll with it. And see if I can avoid knocking the monitor off. Because that's what I'm inclined to do, is just smack the bitch right off the desk. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? So what we're going to do... Here, let's put this where you can actually see it a little bit better. Let's see. It's easy to read there. Check disk. Secon, scan, perf. Boom. Wrong command prompt. Wrong command prompt. Let's, that's the one I opened that I didn't mean to. This is the one I opened that I did mean to. And this is me hitting shift insert and hitting enter, and there's check dicks. We're going to do a dicks check. Anywho. In the meantime, and one of the reasons that I do this, by the way, is I do all of the actual work on like cloning and all that in my Linux system. Let's see. So while we're waiting on that, let me show you something else. I have on one of my Effin' Birds shirts. And I think that you will appreciate the design on it. What do you think about that shirt? Isn't that a great shirt? I can't leave it on the screen for too long because YouTube will be pissy at me if I do. No step on snack. Go back to computer. Oh, wait, that's right. It took me like 1 billion years to get this set up here, so, you know, we're going to do this again. Ooh, what happened? What? Oh, are we going to have a stupid OneDrive related problem? Is that what I'm about to have to deal with? Is it going to piss me off tonight? Place your bets now. Will OneDrive infuriate Jody tonight? Oh, did it glitch up again when I wasn't looking? I love that. I love it when that happens. That's the YouTube special. Yeah, look, KB/S says 879. I bet it's glitching right now as I speak. I love it, don't you? Here, let's do something a little extreme and see if we can fix this glitch problem for good. Oh, wait. I hooked this up to the other computer. I actually can't control my streaming PC now. I suck. Okay. Whatever. Whatever. No one cares. Come on. 1,122,264 file whatever. God almighty. You know, Windows didn't have anywhere remotely near this many files before they came up with the whole servicing stack thing. And while, yeah, the whole servicing system does make Windows a lot easier to patch up, assuming the component store doesn't get royally fucked, it also means that there's a metric ton of files, just file entries everywhere. Come on. Come on, let's do a disk check. A disk check. Promise, YouTube. Warning, the contents bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Oh, there's a widget for that? Warning! Warning, the stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Probably because fuck you. That's usually the most common reason. I'm just going to close a bunch of shit and see what happens. Huh. Okay. But yeah, there are very few actual computers active right now, and I control all of them, so I know what they're doing. Oh, great. So we do need to run a disk check. Shutdown, space-R, space-T, space-0. Does a reboot from a command prompt. You learned something today. And by the way, that works on pretty much any remotely modern Windows NT system. We're talking, I'm pretty sure it works all the way back to even Windows 2000. I don't know about before that because I never really used Windows NT Workstation or anything like that. I really could use some way to control that other computer because I would like to switch these cameras if I could, but no. Look, my hand is in frame. I'm putting my hand in frame because watching computers boot is boring. So I'm putting my hand in the frame so that you can see motion. It's motion. Wow, look at how interesting my live stream is. Oh man, this is what the quality content that you didn't pay for. Oh, hell yeah. I just closed the live chat. Yep. Alright, so it's going to do the same damn work all over again. Okay. You know what? My time is not valuable. I don't really have a need for my time to not be wasted. Just waste my time, Daddy. Jesus. Pain in the ass. Pain in the ass. Let's see. Hey, I wonder if Emerald Celestial ever actually stuck around, or if they just dropped in to say PayPal is Jesus, and I can't stop sucking them off. Hey, Emerald Celestial, are you still there? And if you are, do you still feel that way about PayPal, your God? Oh, it's fixing C. Yeah, slowly. Really, really slowly. Here. You can look at my fat ass instead. Look how dark it is. You know why it's so dark? Because my personality really shines through. I bet you if I turn the ISO up a little bit, I'll still look ugly. Ha! I was right. So, I keep making so many goofs. What kind of goofs am I making? Tell me all about the goofs, because I feel like tonight has actually been one of the least troublesome. This really is just classic, you know, corruption was there and never fixed sort of crap. Whatever. I have to do this with a lot of these clones and whatever. You can't clone the file system if it needs a disk check to repair things. And if you can't clone it after you do a disk check, something is grande latte enema fucked. So, I mean, like, we're talking like diarrhea all over the office floor level trouble here. Hey, if I lean over enough, I find that you can't see the expletive on my shirt that will get my video demonetized. So, check this out. This is the monetization arm of my business. Look. This is the monetization arm. It prevents 5 letters from stealing all the money away. Look, 5 letters are the difference between being advertiser friendly and not advertiser friendly. So hey, while I'm thinking about it here real quick, okay? Let's have a little chat about that. So I want you to think about advertising on YouTube, okay? And I know a lot of you should be running ad blockers, and if you're not, you're probably stupid. But let's just, you know, for the sake of argument, let's just talk about ads on YouTube and the advertiser-friendly concept. So, what is it that advertisers want? Advertisers want me to go out there and buy their products and services. They want me to willingly, after I watch their thingy, go out there, hand them my money, make it their money, and to continue doing so. So, content that I want to watch, well, if they want my money, then that content is advertiser friendly. Because guess what? If your ad runs, I don't know, this doesn't apply to me directly, but let's take it to an extreme. Let's just say that it's like, let's say it's like an ISIS video or a KKK rally stream for some reason, right? Just the most unacceptable content you can imagine, right? If that was what I wanted to watch, and I also liked soda. I don't drink as much soda anymore, but let's say I liked soda. Let's say I watched Klan rallies on the internet for some fucked up reason. Would Pepsi not still take my money? See, their ad running on that video, that's not an endorsement of the video. That's based on me, not the video. So all content is advertiser friendly because advertisers want my money. They don't care what I think or believe or say or do as long as they can separate me from my money. So that's why all content is actually advertiser friendly. And this arm of my business that covers my lower right moob so that you don't see fucks, yeah, that shouldn't exist. That shouldn't be necessary. There is no reason that you should even have to think about that. Because all content should be considered advertiser friendly. Because all content has the potential to run an ad that takes my money. Not my money, because ads can go fuck themselves and I don't watch them. And if I am forced to watch them, I ignore them. Although I do have to say I'm really tired of my TV spouting political crap, and vaping puts metal in your lungs. Okay. I see someone said some stuff. So, listen. You left comments on my last video and they deleted it. Let me explain really quickly what's actually going on here. They didn't delete it, okay? YouTube has AI that screens shit, right? Actually, you know what? I don't even need Task Manager. Just shut the damn computer down. So YouTube has AI that screen shit based on previous things. So what happens is YouTube's got an automated algorithm that looks at the content of what you write. But it's a number of factors, and I really probably should... Look, Program Manager, that's from Windows 3.1. So somewhere, I can't remember where, but there's actually a process that's still technically called Program Manager in Windows 10. But it's not as simple as just like what you type. A lot of people don't realize this AI thing works on a ton of factors. It's not as simple as just saying, oh, I want to, it's like, I think you are an idiot. Yeah, okay. This thing just continuously manages to get past me trying to get to a setup prompt. I might have to get a wired keyboard if this keeps up. Yeah. Come on, stop being dumb. You're HP, I understand it's difficult. But please, at least try. Make a little bit of effort to not be a piece of shit today. Okay? Thank you. You dumb fuck. UEFI. Okay, so it does see the hard drive, the USB drive. Alright, tell me about some secure boot. Alright, fuck you, secure boot. Suck my secure cock. And now, we can F9 it. F9, yes, I want to turn off secure boot, you bitch. UDisk. Refine, boom. Tritech service system. Now we're cooking with gasoline. Alright. Sorry about the glare from the light up there. I can't do much about it unless I just kill the light. Hey, everybody in the chat, don't worry about the glitches. I can't do anything about it. There's literally nothing I can do to fix it. You don't have to tell me every time it happens. I appreciate the help, but I can't fix it. So look, what's going on with the whole... Wait, what? No IP address? Well, fuck you, I got the Ethernet hooked up, you bastard. What's wrong with you? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. No IP address? Why? Why not? Alright. No network adapters available. What? Ah, shit. It's one of those. Okay, I have to do it the hard way again because I still haven't updated the flash drive with the new network manager script that handles ENO1 Ethernet adapters. Sys update that's right. Fuck it. One of these days I'll fix that. Alright, so yeah, let me get back to the whole comment thing real quick. Just so we're on the same page here. What you got here? This hard drive has had one CTO, which is command timeout. So we've got, alright, maybe, I don't know if you can see everything very well, but probably not. Hang on, let me try to get this so where you can see it a little bit better. We're just going to install a couple packages that let me put a bigger font. Nope. Alright, set font, Sun 12x22. Now it looks like a Sun Spark station. Isn't that cool? Okay, yes, it's cool. If you say it's not cool, you're an asshole. It is cool. Do not pretend that it is not cool. Okay. There's like no space between lines, and that's the way I like it. Alright, let's start over. File system information. SDA4 is the last really big one. So here's what I do. I mount SDA4. It's bitching, so I have this thing that purges all the metadata. And then I can mount SDA4 and look into it. TT cleaner. We'll wipe out all of the junk files. Oh shit, I forgot to change that version number. But anyway, this is a little cleanup script that I wrote. What's the configuration of this PC? Here, hang on. Oh, set font only works per terminal. Hang on. The configuration of this PC is as you see on your screen. It is a Pentium G2020T with a Seagate. Seagate. Fucking Seagate. 1 terabyte piece of shit. And I've got the solid state drive temporarily hooked up. It's got a 100 megabit Ethernet adapter, probably because bullshit. It came with at least Windows 8 because it has an embedded ACPI license key. And 4 gigs of RAM. And 0 gigs of patience. This thing is slower than dog shit because it has a hard drive. It has a mildly weak processor. And it has 4 gigs of RAM, but honestly, the 4 gigs of RAM isn't the problem. It's the hard drive. The hard drive is so slow. Oh yeah, SATA. This is not ancient. This computer is not ancient. Look, I'll prove to you the computer is not ancient. Hewlett-Packard, blah, blah, blah. That one didn't show what I wanted. I need baseboard. Baseboard. It's not ancient unless you're 12 years old. That didn't show what I wanted either. There, I'll just use my shortcut. Yeah, the BIOS date, and the BIOS has probably never been updated, is 2013. So this computer's probably roughly 9 years old. I probably should actually update that. But yeah, the computer's roughly 9 years old according to this. It's not ancient. Ancient would be like a Pentium 3. And yeah, SATA has been around since roughly 2004. Almost every computer that was new came with SATA by default by about 2006. So yeah, it has SATA. Everything's had SATA since the mid-2000s. It's, it's like 17, 18 years since it be just totally ubiquitous. I have PowerPC G5 Mac towers that have SATA. So yeah, SATA is in like everything. God, this is taking a while. Yeah, 486 DX266. I actually had one of those. It was an upgrade from the Wise 386 DX40 that I had. YouTube. Hang on a sec. So this is my cleaning tool. You can see the various things it's just erasing. But yeah, YouTube is whining. Every time you see the video glitch, YouTube also issues a warning about it. It actually took me years to develop this script. Originally it was I think versions 4 and under were not hot at all. They were pretty slow because at that point I hadn't done several things that both sped it up and made it delete more stuff. I'm going to abort this. I don't want to wait for it to load a file list. So that deleted, I mean, it counts the paging file too, but even if you take out the paging file, it still deleted like 8 gigs of data. Let's see. Is there anything else here I can delete? There are. We don't need system.save. We don't need that HP folder there. We don't need OneDrive temp. Usually we don't need that. The Intel folder's trash almost always. Yeah, let's toss all that. Okay. Alright. Alright. Now this is where things get interesting because I have to actually do the clone now. I do clones by hand. Yiffy quality bitrate. Yeah, that's pretty accurate actually. So I do clones by hand. So you're gonna see me actually do it. If you can you read the text down here? I'm pretty sure that it's at least readable. I don't know how readable, but I'm pretty sure that that's at least readable. So we're just going to roll with it. So I'm going to show you how I do this. It's UEFI, so it's GPT, so I need the first 64 sectors of the hard drive copied over. And I need to resize a few things here. Delete partitions that are too big or past the sizing. Delete 4. Right, yes. And then we'll make a new partition for 0700 for Microsoft Basic Data. And our partition table doesn't have those last partitions anymore because I'm going to throw them away. Now, here's where it gets ugly. So you're going to see some wizardry. So be prepared for the wizardry. If it glitches up while I do this, let me know so that I can show you again. SG disk, right? Partition 4 is the Windows partition. SG disk -U 4:$ SG disk -I for dev SDA pipe grep UN pipe cut D F4, which is the magic that gets me the GUID for partition 4 on the source drive, and this rest of it here sets it for the destination drive dev SDB. Now, if I do SG disk -I4 dev SDA, you'll see partition unique GUID. It starts in E5, ends in 40F, and you should see the exact same unique GUID there. If you don't do that, Windows doesn't boot. If Windows doesn't boot, well, what the fuck is the point? All right, so now what do we have? All right, we have everything with the last partitions. So what I'm going to do is Windows RE. The first partition is Windows RE, so it's probably NTFS, so NTFS clone, force output, dev SDB1, dev SDA1. And it'll clone SDA1 to SDB1. Partition 2 is EFI. PV, which is basically a cat command with progress, is pipe viewer. Dev SDA2 out to... spell it correctly, dipshit. SDA2 out to dev SDB2, and that clones the EFI partition, which is fat. We don't have to clone the MS reserved, so now it's just NTFS clone FO SDB4 SDA4. So SDA4 getting cloned to SDB4, and that's where we run into a problem, because what I need to do, and this is why I had to do the disk check, dev SDA, we're going to resize SDA4, which is currently nearly a terabyte, right? Resize SDA4, F for force, N for no action, actually F, F and S for size, and I'm just going to try a, you know what, actually FI, I will tell you what it thinks you should try to resize to. I didn't actually check the free space, so I don't know how much free space there is. I don't know what it might resize to, so I'm going to get it to give me a suggestion. 95,719 megabytes. So I'm going to try FNS. Let's just do, because we're just cloning to a 120. 100 M. So 100,000 megabytes. I could have typed 100G also. But I'm rounding up a bit. You have to give NTFS resize some headroom, or it will allocate extra clusters or throw errors or whatever, and it ends up actually mangling the cloned system. Or mangling the file system, rather. And then it won't boot at all because it's a piece of shit. And I don't understand why the NTFS resize, why the developers, you know, I just don't get it. Burt Bacharach, huh? You know, the only reason I know who Burt Bacharach is that damned Geico commercial where Burt Bacharach is, like, singing about lizard licks his eyeball. I shit you not. That is just, yeah. So what I'm doing now, up here, FNS 100,000 megabytes, the N still means don't do anything. It means just try it out. Now, what I want to see is relocating 100%, updating, read-only, ended successfully. I don't see non-free, negative or non-positive free clusters or allocated extent inode 16 or whatever. I just see these messages. I know it's okay. If you try to shrink it too small, it'll throw errors. So now I can actually do the resize, which will take about 1 billion years. It's fucking annoying. Anyway, let's see. This is actually going to take a while. I may turn the camera around and sing for you. Yes, proceed to destroy my customer's data. They don't need it anymore. What the hell are they going to do with it? Probably pee on it, for all I know. It's too bad that I don't have the kind of equipment that would be needed to, like, come up with a Smooth McGroove song on the spot or something. You know? I'm only one voice. I can't, you know... I can't sing nice, beautiful, layered choruses or anything without cloning myself. And if I cloned myself, well, the world would have 2 assholes instead of 1. And we just can't do that. This is going to take a while. So I'm going to turn this around so the stream isn't so boring that you just tune out and go, this guy is a dipshit. I also... How the hell did I have this camera set up? I have no idea how I got that camera to stand up. Yeah, this actually doesn't quite fit. So, how did I do that the first time? Did I just set it down here? I feel like I just set it down there. That or I wheeled it around. Hold on a second. So we're having some technical problems. Mostly because... Well, probably because of Seagate and HP. Let's just be honest. Seagate and HP can pretty much be blamed for every problem in my entire life. Even the ones that are completely not their fault are still... their fault. Oh yeah, that's right. That's why I don't do this. This is the lose your monetization angle. There's like dust all over this lens too. Hey guys. So but this thing has the widest field of view ever, and you can actually see the progress right here. If and it's in focus for some freaky reason. But yeah, you can see the progress right down here. 18%. So we have to find something to talk about or do while we wait on this file system to resize. I'm not really happy about this. Never make a clone of a clone. Oh, man. Alright. Let's see. What can I do? What can I do to entertain you? I mean, I could show you lens caps, but that's not fun. Man, does anybody have any good ideas as far as what we could do while we wait on this extremely slow and boring process? Look at how warped I am. This is why I don't like to use this lens, because it's a fisheye. And I become like curved, like my whole body becomes curved. And I have enough curves without the help. And they're not the kind of curves that get you money for looking good in a magazine or anything. Also, does anybody even read magazines anymore? Seriously. What the hell? Open some of my gadget containers? You want me to go find a bin and just open it? Is that really what you want? Really? Your Dell is showing bright colored lines around moving images? That sounds a little scary. What is the worst game I've played in recent history? Well, remember, I don't really play games. I used to play games when I was a kid. I played a lot. I've played a lot of emulation stuff. But worst game in recent history, that's a hard one. Clonezilla, I've never used it. If I recall correctly, I think it uses gparted. But, yeah. I'm very fit. Oh, you know that's bullshit, you fucking liar. How often do I work out? I might go on a 3-mile walk once a week. But, yeah, no. I'm about as fit as a fucking pile of pudding that snorted cocaine and brown sugar. So, no. Plinko? Isn't that Price is Right game? Seriously? I wasn't expecting that to ever come up ever in my life again. Plinko? How the fuck would I play Plinko? Like, I'm not on the game show. Did they? I don't even know if that's still on. I haven't watched actual regular TV in like a decade, with one exception, when I went to the beach once and I turned on cable TV and there were so many commercials I almost shit my pants. I'm not a boomer fucker. The last game that I played was Blaster Master. If you were on the last stream, you'd know that. Yeah. Well, shit. You know, maybe since everybody just wants to talk about, you know, everybody wants me to reveal my secrets and jerk off to video games, maybe I should just play some video games instead of, you know, why should I? I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to entertain me. So, yeah, why don't I just do that? Why don't I just entertain myself? Why don't I play with myself on stream, so to speak? Let's see. Programs. NES. FCEUX.exe. Oh, look. I found something to do that isn't talking shit. Ain't that a bitch? Open ROM. B. Nope, it lost my ROM directory. It does that sometimes because it's a piece of shit. Programs. NES. ROMs. And there we go. That's more like it. And I have it rigged so I can use the keyboard to play it too. So I can just be completely independent of you freaks. Aren't you jealous of me? Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, you are. This is now a Watch Me Lose Blaster Master stream. Playing Blaster Master with a fucking keyboard. What's wrong with me? Oh, fuck. This is actually really hard. The momentum of the stupid tank. Yep, and I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. So incredibly fucked. Alright. Well, I've lost that very quickly. So, cool. Alright, that was the shortest Blaster Master stream you'll ever see in your entire history of existence. Alright. Let's see. Y'all are talking about a Commodore 64 game. I'm actually curious because I played quite a few. What were all of your favorite games on the Commodore 64? How many of you are even old enough to know what the fuck a Commodore is? I have no idea. I really don't know. Look, this thing is still at 68%. I told you it would take a long time, so we have to find something to do other than watch me lose. I tell you what. Maybe we should open more Nintendo games and have me lose extremely quickly. What else? I've got like 1,000 of them here, and I'm not kidding. Hey, how many of you have seen The Angry Video Game Nerd? Here you go. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, I know you can't see it, but oh God, please fast forward. Yeah. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, bitches. The cane doesn't do anything. Alright, that game got boring faster than you can say nope. Okay. 79%. We still got a little ways to go. The good news is once this clone is done, the rest of the process is actually pretty quick. So, you know. This monitor is still disgusting, and the spider webs are freaking me out, too. How did I get into computer repair? Hold on. So basically, I'll try to make a long story short. I've basically been around computers my entire life. I learned to program on a Commodore 64. I learned BASIC when I was about 8 or 9 from the manual. From there, I got my hands on a programmer's reference guide around like 10 or 11-ish years old. Glitch. Great. To 10 or 11 years old, I got a programmer's reference guide and started learning assembly, doing some neater things. And it really just took off from there. I mean, once you learn to code on a computer, you piece of shit stream. Once you learn to code on a computer and see that you can do all kinds of neato things and feel accomplished goofing off with the innards, it can kind of become a bit of an addiction. Let's see. My wife wants to... You're a very funny boy. You're being kind of weird, Itchy. Scratchy's gonna show up and you can skin him instead. My physique is that I'm fucking fat. So, we'll just leave it at that. So, enjoy that. Let's see. Neglecting camera repair. I don't repair cameras. Fuck that. I'm not repairing cameras. I'm destroying cameras. So, I'm starting to think. Let's see. Let's look through here. I'm starting to think that Itchy's a fucking retard troll. So, what we're going to have to do, I think, is... We're going to have to... I don't think Itchy's joking. So, I think Itchy gets to be banned. Goodbye, Itchy. You're a fucking idiot. And now you're gone. Enjoy. Okay, this is done. This is done. Let's do the thing with this now. Alright. Let me know if you find this text on the screen to be comfortable to read, because we're about to do the rest of it. So the first order of business is NTFS resize force dev SDB 4, and often I'll actually type yes pipe so I don't have to hit the Y. And then SDB4 doesn't have a valid NTFS, huh? Oh, that's right. I didn't do the clone, did I? I only did the resize. So let's do that clone real quick. I say real quick, but that might take a little while as well. It is 95 or so gigabytes of data. Now, really quick. All right. Really quick, everyone, I want to show you something, because this clone is going to take time. It may not take quite as long as that resize did. So the innards of this computer, let me explain something to you. I want you to look down here, okay? The reason that we're doing things the way we are, this computer has 4 USB 2 ports here and 100 megabit Ethernet here. The best network speed we're going to get is if we plug any USB Ethernet adapter that's better, like this one. This is a pluggable, I've had very good service out of these, a pluggable 2.5 gigabit adapter, and down there I have a 2.5 gigabit switch. This thing is USB 3, but a USB 2 port is going to restrict it to an absolute maximum ceiling of 480 megabits per second, which tends to actually float around in the low 30s. So if I plug this up, I get about 32 megabytes per second due to USB 2, instead of the 10.2 or 11.2 or whatever for this 100 megabit. But if we take the destination drive and we temporarily steal the CD, DVD, whatever drives, SATA cables, we've got the original hard drive here, we've got the destination here, and this is probably at least SATA 2, but it's almost certainly SATA 3, which is 600 gigabits per second, I believe. Is it gigabits per second? No, it's megabits per second. I'm being stupid. So, this thing, this hard drive can't actually push data fast enough to beat out what the SATA bus can do. So this drive is really the throttling factor now, and that's ideal, because you can't take the data off the drive faster than the drive can read it. And this thing being connected to an internal SATA bus means it has access to 600 whatever. I am being dumb. It's 6 gigabits per second. What the fuck is wrong with me? Don't answer that question. Yeah, Yeah, so SATA 3, 6 gigabits, it's like 550 megabytes per second in practical transfer speed. And this drive probably streams data, sequential reads closer to 100 than, yeah. Let's see. That's the rationale behind hooking this up internally. Because the other thing is, consider if I hooked up, this and I get 30, well, what about this? USB to serial ATA. Again, 2.0, 30. So this is 30. This is more like 100. The job gets done in 2/3 less time. 1/3 of this, it's 3 times faster to do it this way than it is to do it this way. Which is why we do this weird looking temporary ghetto rig crap. So, I'm all about saving time where I can. Pong. Oh, dear God. Anyway. Yeah, this is going to take a while. So, again, we really need to find something to occupy our time here. So, what are we going to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? Because I know you don't want to just sit here and watch this thing forever. So tell me, because I really just need to know what you want. Tell me what you want me to do. Let's do it. eSATA is just SATA. Fuck that. So, real quick, while I'm thinking about it, hard drives. One of the fun characteristics of hard drives. The transfer speed at the beginning of the drive tends to be about double the transfer speed at the end. So if you start just reading the drive, just doing a benchmark at the beginning of the drive, just start reading it from the block 0, right? And you just keep letting it go. Well, what'll happen is it might start, for example, I have these high-performance 3 terabytes lying around. They start reading at about 180 megabytes per second at the start. By the end, the last sectors are more like 90 megabytes a second. So you can't just look at, oh, this is transferring at this speed, and go, okay, it's going to take however long the thing predicts. No, it tends to be double that, roughly. Use this time to fix the I can't fix the camera because it's not the camera. It's the stream. It was doing it when I had still images up. It was doing it when it was a still image. How the fuck can I fix it with fixing the camera, bruh? A few streams ago, I mentioned sleeping on a leather coat in a class. Well, it wasn't just one class. So that's a little bit complicated. I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember the Columbine high school shooting. One of the characteristics of the shooters was that they wore trench coats, and they called themselves the Trench Coat Mafia, probably as a joke. And basically, what happened is people got really weird after Columbine, but especially my, one of my parents got really, really weird and started going through my stuff just because she was like, oh, this is a wake-up call. So, my little act of rebellion was to wear a fucking trench coat. You know, because truth be told, what is a trench coat? It's a harmless article of clothing. Who gives a shit? But I wore a trench coat, and I was in class. I was in advanced math. I don't remember the teacher's name, but I was in advanced math class. And he was originally a college professor, but he was now teaching high school math for whatever reason. And he basically said from the beginning of the year, I don't give a shit, what you do. He didn't say that, of course. He's like, I don't care what you do. This is your class. It's your time to learn. It's, you do what you want with it. If you don't pay attention, if you don't do whatever, then it's your problem. So I was, fuck yeah, this is the best class I've had my entire school career, because I was the kind of kid who'd read through the whole fucking book and learn everything and then just be bored for the rest of the year. So yeah. You want me to make you burritos? I can't pull the entire streaming rig into the kitchen, unfortunately. But, you know, if everybody wants to donate a bunch of money to me so that I can get like a fucking Teradek wireless HDMI transceiver set, oh God, I don't really want one. But, you know, I could do that if I had a Teradek. I don't even need a Teradek. It wouldn't need to be a $4,000 HDMI transceiver. HDMI transceivers are not cheap, though. Now, you can pay more for an HDMI transceiver than you pay for a camera. That GH5S up there, the good camera, the one that I'm not using right now, ironically, this one, yeah, that thing, a Teradek receiver costs 3 times what I paid for that camera. So, yeah, of course, I think that's also an SDI. Iron my Gadsden flag. I gotta be honest, I think it's some kind of plastic material. I don't think I can just iron it. I think if I try to iron it, it will melt. And then I won't have a Gadsden flag. So I decided it can just look folded up. I don't really have time for that shit. Alright. Yeah, I you know what? If you guys are really bored, maybe one day I'll figure out a way that I can get a camera in there and stream me cooking dumb bullshit. Usually I don't make anything exciting, so you can watch me cook mundane food, and I can basically just become a clone of Mental Outlaws channel. You know, just tell you about how Linux is doing today, followed by here's me cooking a bunch of chicken. Here we go. We press a button on the oven, put the chicken in the pan, walk away, and wait for 3 hours. And I can see the stream glitched up 30 seconds ago. And I can see it sending 200 kilobytes a second. Whatever. Fuck my internet service provider. So there you go. Yep. Yeah, it'll come back. Just give it a second. Give it a second. In the meantime, those artifacts are cool as shit, aren't they? Hey. Yeah, it's still slow. I'm surprised that you can see anything. I wonder what happens if I tell the software to use a lower bit rate. I have that hooked up to this computer, don't I? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Starlink, you're funny. Alright, it's back. Yep. The bitrate's going back up. It slowly creeps back up. It was in the 200s. Now it's in the 700s. But now it's in the 900s. Go up, you piece of shit. I want people to be able to see me so they can at least see that I'm fat when they say I'm fat. Is that really that much to ask? Well, okay, here's the deal. We're talking about whether or not it's the ISP, and you're saying the audio would glitch too. Not necessarily. The audio would not necessarily glitch, because there is an element of buffering involved, and it's not necessarily that those get sent at the same time. The problem is if the bit rate that it's able to send gets too low, and it throttles back. You know what? Something just occurred to me, actually. Let me, that thing's only at 63%. Let me actually steal this receiver back so I can use my keyboard on the... Give me my damn receiver. There you go. So I can use my keyboard on my computer. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think OBS has a setting where you can have it throttle back if there's congestion. I'm pretty sure I saw that somewhere. I have no idea where. I have no idea if that actually will work. And if it is in here, where the fuck would that setting be? I have no idea. Let's see. I'm in the advanced settings. And yeah, dynamically change bitrate to manage congestion. You son of a bitch. And I can't change it. I can't change it without cutting the stream. I'm betting you that's what's actually happening, is that it's detecting a drop, and it's cutting my bitrate down because it's not going red or yellow. I bet that's exactly what it is, dynamically, and it's fucking beta. And I didn't even fucking set that. I upgraded from like 27 to 28, and I don't remember that being there. No, it's not a camera issue. It's OBS is throttling the bitrate of the stream. Right here, look, motherfuckers. I'm gonna fucking show you right fucking now. Okay? Okay? Look, you see this? See this thing right here? Look at that. Yeah, it's blown out because the ISO is so high. But here's our problem right here. There's a setting right here that says dynamically change the bitrate to manage congestion. Right there. Do you see it? Do you see it? It's right in front of you. And it's grayed out. It's checked and it's grayed out, and I can't do a damn thing about it without cutting the stream. So what's happening is down here, this green thing. Oh, what a coincidence. It's all the way up right now. But it'll drop to 200, but normally when that happens, you get a red square or a yellow square indicating that it can't send the data fast enough. But OBS is not showing that it can't send the data fast enough. So what that tells me is that OBS is throttling everything. It's throttling the stream because the green means, oh, OBS is fine. It just cuts my video bitrate to an audio bitrate, you know, like 100 kilobits a second. No biggie, dude. It'll be okay. You can just deal with that, bro. It's OBS choking the video out. So what's happening is it's sending the audio perfectly fucking fine. But the video is reduced to a bitrate where X264 literally cannot compress video at that bitrate. Refocus on me. Oh, there we go. There's just no way. So yeah, what's probably happening is there's a drop. There's a drop in the upstream. OBS detects that it's having trouble. It's doing retries. And, you know, maybe there's a 1 second cut of the upstream that causes OBS to see, oh, I'm having trouble sending. I'm going to throttle back. I'm having trouble sending. I'm going to throttle back. Oh, I'm going to keep on throttling back and throttling back. And it throttles back to the point that the video gets choked the fuck out. And what are you going to do? At that point, what do you even do? There's nothing you can do at that point. It's just, it even says it's a fucking beta. The problem is, when I upgraded this thing from 27 to 28, and this thing was added, I remember because I set it up on another computer, but when I upgraded it, it didn't ask me what I wanted to do with that setting. It just set that setting for me. So what it's doing is just choking out my video without even asking me. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm recording locally, and this computer's powerful enough compared to, well, do I even have that over here? Compared to the previous streaming PC, which was a Celeron, this computer's powerful enough that I actually have a separate video encoding process running for the recording. So yeah, I can't do anything. I'm fucked. It's not a camera issue. The cameras are fine. The cameras look fine in OBS. It can't be a camera issue because it affects the whole frame. Look, just here, look. So notice there's two cameras, right? You can see that there's two cameras, right? So if it's a camera issue, why is it affecting the picture-in-picture camera? Riddle me that, my friend. Why is it affecting both cameras simultaneously if it's one of the cameras that's the problem? That's basic troubleshooting. Yeah, OBS is pretty much the standard for streamers, and it's not even that OBS is bad. It's just that that one setting is probably detecting a hiccup, and then it's long enough that it throttles back too hard. And then what happens is it throttles back, it holds it that way for a while, slowly it releases, and the release just gradually gets back up to a normal bitrate. But until it does, no video. Dickheads. Windows 11, I still don't recommend using it. I think they've ironed some of the really horrible problems with the RTM version out, because I've gotten my hands on some people's Windows 11 machines, and they've been faster than what I saw at RTM on on my Windows 11 laptop. So I think they may have made some improvements to it, but it's still slow. It's still not as fast as 10. It's still, I don't know that I would want to use Windows 11 until I had to. It's going to be just like Windows 10, if nothing else. Windows 10, when it came out around 2014 or early 2015, 10 was garbage. It was really fucking bad. One of these days, I'm going to do a video showing the evolution of Windows 10 builds, because there are extremely obvious and annoying UI and behavior differences between builds of Windows 10, especially the earlier ones, before they got everything hammered down to where the feature releases are almost nothing. But like if you run up Windows 10 1503 or whatever, 1511 I think, or 1407, any of those older ones, and then you look at a modern one, 1909, 21H1, 21H2, there's a huge difference, massive difference between them. All right. That's right, we have to rotate the camera, not the tripod. But there's a massive UI difference between editions of Windows 10, and they did eventually improve things to the point that it was actually functional, like it was actually usable. And that's why I'm on 10 now, that and the fact that I had no choice when I got a Ryzen. Can't run Windows 7 on a Ryzen due to ACPI incompatibility. So we did the clone, and now, and I have this in the wrong computer. So let me put it back over here. Plug it back into the correct computer. I don't need the bunny drive in here anymore. Let's make sure it's, yeah, get that out of there. All right. Let's finish this job. NTFS resize. Dev SDB4 force. All right. Yes. Now, I need to copy the recovery stuff, because what I'm going to do, this is something that you're not going to see covered very often. What I'm going to do is copy the recovery partition stuff. Oh shit. Look at that. The smart has changed. Now it has an uncorrectable error and 8 offline uncorrectables. So this hard drive is actually, it actually has a bad spot or two. Alright, mount SDB4. Let's see, does SDB5 recovery, SDA5, sorry. Recovery, Windows re. Okay, it's just the standard 3 files. Alright, rsync, rtvwh, SDA5, recovery, SDB4, recovery. Yeah, and I'm going to remove the OEM stuff too. rm-r, SDB4, recovery, OEM. Yep, we're getting rid of that shit. Umount star, reboot. Okay. It also just occurred to me I shouldn't have rebooted. I should have turned it off. But I'll pull the power plug. And that'll have the same effect. Alright. Now, real quick. Let me, it just occurred to me I can't swap the cameras. So here's what I'm going to do. Put this back down here. And you're just going to have to endure this angle a little bit. I'm plugging the DVD drive back up. Okay. I can't do anything about the gray screen. Stop telling me, okay? Please, just stop telling me. I know it's there. I can't do anything without stopping the stream and starting a whole new stream. So you just have to endure. I'll fix the setting whenever this stream is over, and the next stream shouldn't have this problem. Pretty much figured it out, so yeah. So I'll plug up the SSD, and frankly, in these cases, I just let it sit between the metal. I don't even bother mounting the damn thing. I just let it sit between the lid here and the chassis, and that's it. Because it fits right there, and I don't care. It doesn't need to be mounted at all. And that is how a boss does it. Like a boss. Okay. Whoever thought HP should use these Torxes is an asshole. Alright. Well, it's good I left that camera on, because actually what we need to do now... Is that going to fall? No. Let's get it about where its limit is, and there you go. Now we can put the camera wherever we friggin' want it. Let's get that HP logo in the middle and fix this up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this thing. Let's see if it catches on fire this time. Oh, plug up the power, dipshit. It won't turn on if you don't plug up the power, dipshit. I'm not cleaning the spider webs. To hell with it. Ah, shit. I forgot to bring my fog machine. I can't scare everyone without it. Just don't know what to do. Okay, now I'm turning it on, and of course, once I've sealed it up, now now I don't see anything on the screen at all. That's pretty great. It's definitely on. Nothing on the screen. What happened? Piece of shit. Did the wire get unplugged? Hang on a second. Let's reseat this video cable just to be sure. Because I think it might have gotten wiggled. Yeah, that's what it was. The cable was a little loose. Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay. Let's do some things. Let's get this to where you can see it a little better, eh? There you go. Let's actually, let's just do this. No, not that. Stop that. Quarter screen. There you go, boy. Alright. Alright. Can we see that okay? We can see that okay, right? Good. Alright. So, we need to get the recovery. If we type reagent C/info, it says that Windows RE is disabled. So reagent C, if we look up the help here, set reimage is what we need to use. And then the details are path and target, path, C:\recovery Windows RE, target, C:\Windows, reagent C, enable. And now the recovery files, the recovery image that I copied from the recovery partition to the main one. There they are. Now, if we go back to reagent C/info, we see it's enabled. And if we reboot, yeah, it will work. Now, I have to run a check disk scan. After an NTFS resize, you always have to run check disk. But now we're on an SSD, so I don't give a shit. This camera's a little to the side here. Hang on. Yep. Maybe next time I'll put a proper rectangular lens instead of a fisheye, and you won't have to deal with this situation where everything looks so distorted. What do you think? Does this distortion bother you guys? Of course, I have to run a disk check again, dickheads. At least it's an SSD this time. to skip disk checking, run away. You know you want to. Sorry it's so slow. This whole process is just slow. You know, it just occurred to me I actually could swap the lens right now if you would like. It's just in a bag down here somewhere. Where is that bag? Here we go. Yeah, here we go. See, you're looking at me through the fisheye here, but I have this. This is a, what is it, a 14? Yeah. That's a 7.5 there. This is a 14. The only problem is this 14, I mean, it's, you know, it's almost double the focal length, which means it would actually cut the field of view down to about half. So, yeah. A little dry throat there. I am using small and cheap as shit. It's a PNY 120 gig solid state drive. Well, alright, if you want me to, at least one person said, hey, try going ahead and fixing the lens issue. Okay. There we go. I need to drink something. There you go. Yeah. Now you can see the reason that I had that fisheye is, I mean, if you look at me, you know, now you have a much better, now you have a much more rectangular view of me, but look how much closer I appear, right? So now, to get the same field of view that covers the whole monitor, I actually have to have the camera further back, which is kind of a nuisance. So that's why I was originally using that fisheye lens, and now we can't see things as clearly. So I think, give me a second, I'm just going to switch it back. Yeah. Yeah, we're just not gonna do that because we're dealing with such a narrow, such a close-up shot. We kind of don't have a choice but to tolerate the barrel distortion. Sorry. All right. Can't I just zoom out? It's a prime lens. You can't zoom out with a prime lens. Look, let me show. Look at the other camera. Okay. That'll tell the story. Look at the other camera. This side camera. You can see that top down, the distance here. Well, let me find something for reference. Here's a Sharpie. Most of you are familiar with a Sharpie, right? Here's it close to this camera. Here's one close to this camera. This is a Sharpie. This is a Sharpie extended from the lens of this camera. There is enough room for me to not even get 2 fingers between this Sharpie and the hood of this lens. So, yeah, there's no zooming out. This is a fisheye. This lens is so close that if my face was that close, I could see 3 icons. It'd just be bullshit. So, yeah, when you use nicer cameras, you also run into lens problems. If you get a zoom lens, you usually have worse low light performance. Sometimes it's not as sharp. And there's really not much that can be done about it. But if you get a prime lens, you usually get a sharper image and better low light performance in exchange for not being able to change the field of view without moving the camera. And the trade-off is often worth it. Listen, That SSD is $16 on Amazon right now. First of all, you don't know exactly who you're buying from on Amazon. I'd never buy an SSD on Amazon. Second of all, this buyer doesn't give a shit. Okay? This SSD can already read plenty fast for the SATA interface. Who cares? Who gives a shit? All that matters is that everything fits on the drive with plenty of room to spare. And it's plenty fast. Guys coming from a friggin' old-ass, like 10-year-old C8 hard drive. Look, there's like 21 gigs free. And that's with all of the friggin' Outlook crap and everything that they've already got installed on there. So no, don't worry about it. Cheap-ass SSD is perfectly fine. Because guess what? I'm not charging them $100 for the part. They're not paying $100 for that. Yeah, they're paying me a lot for the labor. But here's the thing, man. If you have a cheap SSD versus an expensive one attached to a SATA bus, they can't go faster than 550 megabytes a second no matter what you do. It's not possible. It's not NVMe. It's SATA. They don't care. They don't give a shit what I put in it. All they give a shit about is that the computer runs like an absolute dead dog with a hard drive, and once I put this SSD in, it's like magic. And now, I've never actually had this in here to clean up. So now, I can do some more of my magic. Really complicated stuff. Get my tools on here. And now I can device clean up and delete anything I don't like. They're not going to need that. Oh yeah, you know what I didn't do? I didn't check for system restore points to delete before I cleaned it all out. Well, there appear to not be any, so whatever. There ought to be, though. There really ought to be. Yeah, there aren't any extra devices. I'm not too worried about that. Delete unused driver packages. Oh, God. Why are the OEM things up in the hundreds? Holy shit. You say a good SATA SSD will last longer for writes, but here's the thing, man. These people are never going to hit that threshold. They're going to throw this computer away long before the SSD ever hits that write threshold. Besides, there have been tests done on SSDs, and even TLC SSDs still manage to suffer through, like, I think, petabyte counts of writes. I'd have to look it up. Where do I get my hardware? Almost universally either through Newegg Business or Best Buy. That sometimes one has a better deal on a part that I want than the other. And what I do is I keep cheap SATA SSDs lying around to do refurbishment. And that's what this is. It's a cheap SATA SSD that I use to patch up stuff, to, you know, get old computers going better, whatever. All right, I'm going to compress Windows. There we go. I don't think I've actually mentioned this to any of you yet. What this thing is doing? The new NTFS compression introduced in Windows 10. Yeah, this compresses files using that transparent compression, which makes the throughput even faster. Nah, dude, these aren't even Facebook machines. All they're doing is accessing websites that are related to their niche business, and they're running Outlook, and that's it. That's literally it. That's all they're doing. As long as the drive it doesn't have the latency, you know, seek times and all that for hard drives, basically this thing's going to feel like it's a whole new computer to the guy that's been sitting behind it for the last decade. So, yeah. I think one of the problems with nerds is that they get gear syndrome like photo guys do. You know, computer nerds they have this problem where it's gear. It's like, why don't you buy
a really nice hard drive, you know? Well, here's the thing. Why don't you buy a sports car to drive around day to day? I mean, the sports car has the potential to do more. So, I moved the keyboard over. You know, why don't you buy a sports car, guys? Why don't you drive a Ferrari to work? You know, why don't you do your 50-minute commute in stop and go traffic in a fucking, 800 horsepower beast? Why don't you do that? Well, because it's uncomfortable. It's a gas guzzler, whatever. But and the analogy's not perfect, but the point is, if you buy a whole hell of a lot more than you'll ever actually use, then that extra is wasted. This guy's not going to notice the difference. He's never going to see the difference between, like, a 120 gigabyte and a terabyte high-end, like, Samsung Evo 870 Pro or whatever it is. He's never even going to notice. If I put it in there, either way, he's going to be like, holy shit, Toby, you're a friggin' miracle worker. This thing is so darn fast. Holy crappy crap. And that's just the way it is. He'll never, ever appreciate that speed difference. He'll never hit the right threshold running Outlook and Chrome. It's just not going to happen. He's never going to get to that point where he burns out the drive from all the porn he downloads. All he's doing is running, websites and Outlook. That's it. They don't even use the other Office programs 99% of the time. You chew up 2 to 3 terabytes a day of data. This guy may never, ever do anything that ever touches a single terabyte worth of data in his entire computing lifetime. The truth is, there's really not that much data on this computer. I can almost guarantee you, if I was actually to go through all the shit on this computer, that what it really is downloads. It's shit that he's downloaded, like open an attachment in email, and it's just stuffed in the downloads folder and never gets deleted. I can almost guarantee you that's where all that space went. So yeah, and that's the thing, it's different needs. Like I have different needs from them, This computer would not do. This is unacceptable for me. I can't take this computer and do most of what I need to be able to do. It's too fucking slow. Now granted, I can do a lot of things, but I can't do video editing. That's just not going to happen. It ain't happening. That's why down here, I got this beast down here that I paid a whole bunch of friggin' money to put together. And I got this one down here that it replaced, that's now the streaming PC you're watching me on today. This thing right here, the Pentium in that, I don't even think it has hardware encoding for, I don't even know that it has hardware encoding that can handle doing streaming. I'd have to check. It may, and it's new enough it may, but I'm not sure. And even if it did, it'd be hardware encoding. It'd look like dog shit by comparison to what you're getting right now. I mean, look at how slowly it's compressing files. Right now, what this computer is doing is compressing operating system files to make them faster to read from the disk later. And it's taking that long to compress the files. And they're not big files. You can literally see the sizes before and after. By the way, this is something I do to pretty much every Windows computer that I get my hands on, every Windows 10 computer that I get my hands on. This compression thing, because if you smash these down, the beauty of this is, okay, you're doing this, and you can see these ratios. Like a lot of them are 2 or even 3 to 1. Some of them are insane. There's a 4.6. But what happens is, if you get an average of a 2 to 1 compression ratio, that's 50% the size. That's an effective doubling of the speed of the read. Now, it still has to be decompressed in memory, but that's a much cheaper operation than compression. So what happens is you effectively double your throughput of your whatever drive you have in there. So if it can handle a 500 megabyte a second sequential read, then this compression means that the software that's compressed could potentially be reading at an effective speed of 600, which is faster than the, or not 600, 1,000, which is faster than the SATA bus can even handle. So yeah, you combine a little bit of cleverness here with relatively decent technology, and you got a friggin' speed demon out of a Celeron or Pentium. God, I remember when Pentium used to be like the shit. And now it's like, you know, hey, it's not a Celeron. So look, let's see here. How does it affect the performance? Well, here's the thing. I have done this to some of the slowest computers you can imagine. Overall, it speeds things up because you would think the CPU would be a bottleneck, but the truth is decompression is actually a pretty CPU weak task. LZX is the compression being used. It's mostly dictionary compression. No, it's built in. The compression's not something I wrote. The batch file is, but the compression itself is not. It's built into Windows 10, and I'm just exploiting it to maximize the speed of things. Hang on just a sec. Let me swap this back over so I can use this computer, and I'll show you. There you go. Oh, you can't see it. Great. It's all blown out. Something like that. Okay. So, this is the batch file that's actually doing the work. You know, feel free to key it in from source. I'm such a dick. But yeah, it tries to figure out if you have, you know, program files, 64-bit, 32-bit, whatever, and that's for some other stuff later. But if exist, you know, system32 compact, that's the method, that's compress, that's ignore errors. Everything in WinDir, system32, everything under that, but not recursive. If you come down here, there are some that are actually recursive. System apps, see the ones with /s at the end? That's not sarcasm, that's old tech speak. Yeah, these you don't want to do it recursively in System32 or SysWow64, but a lot of these other things you can. And I know there's probably a better way to do this, but I think batch files, that the way they do stuff, like the for loops and stuff, tokens and delimiters, are really fucking stupid and poorly designed. And so I just said, fuck it, I'll just paste it, because I don't care. I'm sure there's a more elegant way to do it, and I don't care. I don't have to care. I don't want to care. I don't need to care. So yeah, deal with it. Yeah. Yeah, oh, look at that. Look at that compression. That fucking compression. You know what happened? It throttled when I showed you the batch file. I actually am looking at it right now. There's compression artifacts everywhere. Yeah, no wonder it's unreadable. Well, look. Maybe what I'll do is I'll add it to my snippets on GitHub. And that way any of you who want to use it can just go steal it from there. I'm not going to do it right now, but maybe tomorrow. I really ought to do a video showing it off and explaining it, huh? What do you think? Should I do a video just with this and explaining this and, you know, what's going on and how it does it and maybe what a moire artifact is? Yeah, compression does make the data less resilient in case of an issue, but we're compressing solely... With this stuff, we're compressing program files, which should be read-only data that's disposable, like you can reinstall the software or even reinstall everything on the computer So, and hard drive failure is a rare case. I don't worry about that, especially with program files that can just be replaced. So that's the thing, is this is compressing like input method or shell components or speech, system apps, you know, the Windows Defender definition store, the Adobe Acrobat Update Manager crap, all the program files folders, you know. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and make a video on that in the future. Anyway, I kind of need to go because I wasn't planning on this getting to this scope. This is the kind of thing I'm pretty much just going to leave running overnight. And, I mean, that's it. It just needs to run. And otherwise, nothing. It doesn't, I need to take it to them in the morning, and the problem at this point is that it's 2 o'clock over here where I am, and I need to take it to them in like 7 hours. So, kind of fucked myself, didn't I? Yeah. I have had hard drive failures, but I've also had good luck. The truth is that devices that fail usually fail early. They don't tend to fail nearly as much once they've aged. Anyway. Yeah, I need to go to bed. I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream for now. Maybe if I feel really spicy one of these days, maybe I'll do a gaming stream. Maybe I'll play Blaster Master on stream or something. And you can watch how shitty I am at it. God almighty. Man, I'm real rusty on some of these old Nintendo games, especially with the momentum and gravity weirdness. By the way, recommendation, if any of you are into programming and you understand 6502 assembly language at all, and you're interested in how some of these weird things like the Ninja Turtles input lag on NES, or some of the stuff, the weird glitches that you've seen in some NES games, there is a channel, I'm putting it in the chat, it's called Displaced Gamers. Displaced Gamers. The guy does deep dives into the code on old NES games and technology and discusses all kinds of really, frankly, interesting and important stuff. And that's what I go to sleep to every night now, is one of those videos. Anyway. If I feel really spicy, I might try Pong. According to the guy that I banned earlier, if I want to feel really spicy, I'll show off my physique because I'm such a stud. So anyway. What games do I play? Oh, you must not have been around. I don't play new games. I only tend to play old games. Old emulator games, mostly. The newest game I've played is a titty game, so who cares? Anyway. Alright, I'm going to make myself scarce. I've really got to go to bed, because if I don't stop this now, I'll never get to bed, and I'll never get this computer delivered first thing in the morning. And then I have to talk to them about other stuff. So there's just so much to be done. Oh, sorry, I just realized the focus was out. But yeah. Thanks, everyone. I'll make that video about the compression thing, and I'll put the batch files that I use for that, and the task scheduler. There's a task scheduler task and an unattended batch file version that I run once a month on customer computers. I let it run once a month to recompress, because updates decompress when they make new files. They decompress. They effectively decompress by making a new file that's not compressed. So it's something you kind of have to keep up on. When you run an update, then you run a compression. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow I may have the opportunity to do another stream at some point. So, watch out for it. I'll post it to my Telegram. I'll post it to the YouTube community tab. I really have nowhere else to post it. So if you want to know, you really just kind of have to hawk your notifications. I'm sorry. Anyway. Yeah, Zelda rocks. By the way, Zelda Link to the Past on SNES, probably one of my favorite games. and I've played the ever-living crap out of it. I can beat it in like half a day. But yeah, I'd play that again anytime. So I'm cutting it. Good night. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow, I hope.